This is the Socorro Planning and Zoning Commission, November 16th, 5:30 p.m. We call this meeting to order.
Item number 2, establishment of quorum. Mr. Andrew Arroyos.
Here.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros.
Here.
Mr. Ernest Gomez. Here. Mr. David Estrada.
Here.
Mr. Arturo Lafuente.
Here.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent. And Ms. Miriam Cruz.
Present.
We have quorum with 6 commissioners present. Moving on to item number 3, notice to the public, open forum. Ms. Diana, do we have anyone that would like to speak?
We do not have any speakers.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, consent agenda. Public hearing request for the proposed conditional use permit to allow a tire shop in a C2 general commercial zoning district, historical and front setback variance located at 10109 Socorro Road, Block 3, Algodon Subdivision, lots 6, 7, and 8 in Socorro, Texas 79927. Also, approval of the meeting minutes of October 19th, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the meeting minutes of October 19th, 2021. On page 2 of the minutes, I abstained from number 8 when it was the motion to excuse absent commissioner members, and I just like to make that correction before we vote on the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
I have a motion made by Ms. Miriam Cruz to amend the minutes, and seconded by Mr. Enrique Cisneros. Mr. Andrew Arroyos?
Yes.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros?
Yes, ma'am.
Ernest Gomez? Yes. David Estrada?
Yes.
Arturo Lafuente?
Yes.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent. And Ms. Miriam Cruz?
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on To item number 5, consider and take action on the review calendar for remainder of 2021 and 2022. Mr. Gainar?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Eunice.
I think we,
Mr. Gomez, can you please speak directly into the mic, please?
I don't think he heard you.
I don't think he heard you, but, that if you can, but I just wanted to make a point, Chair, I don't think we've passed the consent agenda, we just amended it. Can we go back to item 4?
On the public hearing?
No, number 4. So we amended it, but then we haven't approved it.
So in that case, do I have a motion?
Motion
Yes,
to
make-
approve with the amendment, I'm sorry.
I second.
Okay, and seconded by Mr. Andrew Arroyo. So let me go ahead and take your votes again, please. I'm sorry. Mr. Andrew Arroyos,
Yes.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
Mr. David Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent, and Ms. Miriam Cruz.
Yes.
Motion carried. Mr. Gainar.
Yes, thank you, Eunice. Mr. Chair and Commissioners, Carlos Gainar with Planning and Zoning. Good evening. First of all, thank you for being here. I know it's a really short agenda. We had that one item that needed to be introduced, which we'll hear at the next P&Z meeting. But I also did want to just speak to you briefly or have you discuss the remainder 2 meetings that we have in December, given the holidays. And then we also provided you with a copy of what the 2022 calendar would look like. Obviously, your bylaws require us to meet the first Tuesday and Thursdays of the month. And so that's what's reflected on the calendar that's in front of you. We also included the city council meetings and Board of Adjustment, HLC, and a few others in there. But just wanted to bring it to your attention. So the next couple of things. One, the next meeting, scheduled meeting would be December 7th. We will have several items that we'll be presenting, about 5 or 6 items at that meeting. And then, again, not sure if you all want to postpone or delete the December 21st meeting, given that it's close to the holidays. It makes absolutely no difference to us. We're going to be here, so really just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then the second thing is the business meeting. Again, it's kind of we're already talking about January 2022, right? But the bylaws do require you to have a business meeting. The first meeting in January would be January 4th. And so the second meeting in January would be January 18th. And I would like to propose that if you all are okay with it, that your business meeting take place on that second P&Z meeting in January, which would be the 18th. And again, just wanted to make sure that, bring to attention the calendar, see how you guys felt about the remaining meetings, felt about the business meeting. Just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Chair?
I'm fine on the 18th.
Okay.
Yes.
That'll
I-
work. I mean, if, yeah.
Can I speak? I think that we should keep the 21st meeting only because if items do come up, then we're going to have to be requesting a special meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it's best that we keep it and then just cancel it if there's nothing to be done. That's what I think.
I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. And well, Ms. Cruz, we should have a good idea on that 7th about any meetings. And so, I'm sorry, about any pending cases that we would need to have you be here on the 21st. Again, that works for us. So if that works for you, we'll just keep the 7th, 21st. And then if everyone's okay, as the chair has stated, the January 18th meeting would be your business meeting. We'll put the agenda together, Mr. Chair. Maybe you and I could sit down and see if there's any items in particular. I know Ms. Rodarte had wanted us to start giving the P&Z a few more trainings throughout the year, which I had discussed a few months back. So we'll have a training from an attorney. Not exactly sure on what yet. Maybe zoning, maybe subdivisions. But anyhow, the business meeting is your opportunity to amend your bylaws, review the coming year. Just give us some direction in terms of some priorities that you may want us to look at throughout the year. So we could have all that. I'm just saying that we could have those conversations on the 18th. But before that, if there's any suggestions for agenda items, happy to listen and put them on there.
There's one thing I'd like to, for you to consider.
Yes, ma'am.
These meetings used to be at 6 PM, and I know a few years back they got moved to 5:30. I'm not saying one way or the other, but I would like to bring it back up for discussion.
Okay.
That's just the time
Yeah.
of the actual meeting.
I think that's reflected on your, I know the meeting dates are reflected on your bylines, not 100% sure about the timing, but again, we'll have those for your consideration.
Thank you.
That's really all, Mr. Chair. Okay, awesome, thank you so much, appreciate it. And then just, finally, I know we have our planning clerks here, wanted to introduce Yadira Magaña, who just started with us a couple of weeks ago. You all know Eunice, you know Judith, so we, in terms of our staff, we are almost complete. We are hiring for a planning tech. We did hire a building official, Mr. Jose Valderrama, native Socorroan, really well-versed in building and construction. But you'll get to meet him soon. But wanted just to give you guys an update so when you call or you visit the office that you know who the staff is. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, welcome.
Thank you so much. So do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arroyos. Do I have a second?
It's to excuse the absent members?
No, we're still
to
on number
approve
5.
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cisneros. So I have a motion made by Mr. Arroyos to approve and seconded by Mr. Enrique Cisneros. And now I'd like to take your votes. Mr. Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
Mr. David Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent, and Ms. Miriam Cruz.
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to item number 6, Planning and Zoning Commissioners Report.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item number 7, Planning and Zoning Department Report. Thank you so much. Moving on to item number 8, excuse absent commission members. Do I have a motion?
Motion,
Motion to deny.
motion to excuse.
Thank you so much.
I second.
Mr. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, before we vote, I have a question. Did Ms. Julie Dominguez call in?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a motion made by Mr. Ernest Gomez to excuse and seconded by Mr. Andrew Arroyos. Now I'd like to take your votes. Mr. Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
Mr. David Estrada,
No.
Mr. Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent, and Ms. Miriam Cruz.
No.
Motion carried. Moving on to item number 9, consider and take action on the adjournment of this meeting. Do I have a motion?
So
Make a
moved.
motion to adjourn.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arroyos. Do I have a seconded?
A second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Estrada. I have a motion made by Mr. Andrew Arroyos to adjourn this meeting and seconded by Mr. Estrada. Let me take your votes. Mr. Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Enrique Cisneros,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
Mr. David Estrada,
Yes.
Mr. Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Ms. Julie Dominguez is absent, and Ms. Miriam Cruz.
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned at 5:42 p.m. Thank you so much.